Hey, how y'all doing? This is Take Like 102. Um, this poem is titled Motherless Child. This is from my CD. This poem is 8 to 10 years old. I can't sing, so please bear with me. And any other poetry you hear is just about that old too. I'm a little nervous, but here I go. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. A long way from home. A long way from home. I was adopted by my grandmother, but I always longed for my mother. My mother was the one who had me, and for that there's no other. Although she put me in a hot oven when I was just a child, dropped me on my head twice, gave me a fractured skull, I know she's not proud. I'm still alive today, and that's only by the grace of God. She was going through some harsh mental problems. Because of that, my life she could not rob. I can remember cold nights I would pray, hoping she comes back, cured from her mental disease and not ready to attack. No more sudden outbursts, just calm and cool, getting her life together and maybe helping me out with school. Days came and years passed and my wish came true. She came knocking on the front door and appeared up out of the blue. She seemed alright, I heard it in the voice. She was off drugs, no drinking, and she came with toys. I was saying in my heart, thank you God, my mother is fine. Yeah, she was fine for a while until the devil made her have a relapse time. All that shit came back. The mental unstableness, the drinking, and especially that crack. Once again, she was out of my life and all I could do was stare. Stare out the window hoping she'd come back because my heart was in despair. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. A long way from home. A long way from home. I was getting older, so I noticed a pattern, just the same old shit. She would come back, be fine, then turn around strung out, making me sick. Panhandling on the corners, just asking for money so she could buy drugs. Kids I went to school with would see her, and the next day, yes, they would bug. I saw your mama doing this. I saw your mama doing that. Hey, man, where your mama at? Tell her I got some more crack. That shit hit me day in and day out, and yes, it hit me hard. But the love I had for my mama, they could not rob. I didn't care what they said. Everybody makes mistakes. But she was making hers more frequently. How much could my heart take? I wouldn't shed a tear in front of those bastards. I stood strong. Yeah, I stood strong long enough until my black ass got home. When I reached my room, all I could do was break down and cry. I swear 5 tears were flowing constantly from out each eye. I had to stop crying because her actions I could not control. So once again, I prayed to God to turn my mama from copper into gold. I could feel his arms nurturing me, then my heart grew cold. I would not cry no more from her actions, that was my goal. I would just bottle up the pain and keep it inside. Inside those bottles, I constantly cried, longing for my mother to return to me, returning with no more relapses and be the best she could be. Yeah, she returned all right, just with the same old shit. This time I didn't care, I just bottled up and I got a little sick. Once again, she was gone and I felt completely fine. But when those bottles break, I know I'd be crying all the time. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. A long way from home. A long way from home. I'm completely grown up now and immune to her shit. I buried those bottles deep within myself in a long forgotten ditch. Those bottles was biodegradable, so they broke down. And all the pain that was stored in them just fertilized the ground. Beautiful things started to grow from that pain buried deep within my soul. My hands started to write down these feelings, and I knew being a poet was my goal. But not only was I becoming a poet, I was becoming a writer. And also from that pain, I became a better lover and a fighter. Different talents start to merge coming from that batch of pain. Now that I look back, all I could do was sit in shame. I wasn't sitting in shame from the things she had done. All this was already written by God, who is number one. Later on down the line, my mother did return to me. This time with no relapse and been the best mother she could be. So overall, now that I actually see, feeling like a motherless child actually helped me. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. A long way from home. A long way from home. I love you, Ma. Rest in peace.